It's rare that Canadian manufacturers put a base model anything on the media fleet. So as soon as I heard there was going to be a base Corolla L, I emailed as soon as I could, and I think I'm one of the first ones to have it. So welcome to Modern Motoring. I'm Jay, and I've got the 2025 Toyota Corolla L. It is the most affordable option in the entire Toyota lineup. And as of now, it's the fourth most affordable vehicle in Canada, behind the Versa, the Venue, and the Elantra. With Canadian new vehicle prices averaging over $50,000, having something with a Canadian MSRP of a touch under $24,000 is extremely refreshing, and I'm a big fan of the car. There are some irks with it. I'm gonna be very upfront about that, but let's go through some baseline numbers, perks, quirks, irks, touch on pricing and a little bit of the competition, and that should wrap it up. So no big changes for the Corolla lineup for 2025. Only the top trim XSE sees a larger screen. So we still have a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, 169 horsepower, 159 pound-feet of torque, front wheel drive. On the fuel side of things, you can go up to 701 kilometers on a full tank of fuel. The full tank of fuel is 47 liters, and the rating is 6.7 liters per 100 kilometers. So pretty good on the functionality scale. You'll notice a lot of functionality points in this review because that's what this vehicle is made for. No fashion, no flair, not really a lot of fun, but again, functionality and utilitarianism, absolutely huge points. So starting off in the perks pile is the standard safety. So Toyota Safety Sense 3.0 comes standard, and that includes adaptive cruise control, automatic high beams, lane departure alert, lane keep assist, and a couple of other things. There's a spare tire as opposed to a tire fill kit. And yeah, good job on that, Toyota. I think it would have been a bit of a space savings if they went with a tire fill kit, but good job on actually putting a physical spare tire in there. Trunk space is pretty respectable as well at 373 liters. So you have, again, that functionality there. You get an 8-inch infotainment system, and it's not the biggest in class by far, but it's still here. It's still functional. It's very Toyota. Nice, clean graphics, easy to navigate. You get the fixed bar on the left side. Wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto on a base model. That gets huge points. Instrument cluster has 2 massive analog dials, but the perk is the tiny 4.2-inch digital side, and they've put so much information into this tiny piece of real estate. You have everything you need. It takes a few more clicks to get to where you need to be, but I think they have completely maximized the amount of space that they have here. Next up is the height adjustable driver's seat. Now, the passenger side is not height adjustable, but because drivers come in all shapes and sizes and heights for that matter, I don't care that it's a manual height adjuster. I care that there is a height adjuster. Even though it uses a physical key to start the vehicle, you still have buttons on the key fob to push to unlock the vehicle. It's not a matter of inserting the key into the door, twisting and then opening and then the reverse to unlock. So I think that's a nice bit of not quite advanced technology. I think it's a good use of technology to not go all the way down to primitive times like when I grew up. 15-inch Steelies, and I love them because they're cheaper to replace than 16, 17, and even 18-inch wheels. And if you're buying winter tires, that cost as well is reduced. Pricing is a big perk, and I'll dig into more of that in the pricing section, but the big advantage here is with a very low MSRP, it makes the barrier to entry for vehicle ownership a lot lower, and it makes vehicle ownership attainable. Not everybody has a budget for a $30,000, $35,000, $40,000 vehicle, but they still need a vehicle, and for whatever reason they don't want to buy used. They want something new with a long warranty and whatever it is and whatever their needs are, whatever their situation is. So the pricing is a definite advantage. Another perk is that you get LED headlights, and well, for a base model in 2025, that's a pretty good move. I think they could have gone with halogen lights, but the fact that they're like, you know what, let's put a little bit of modern technology in here with the LED lights, pretty good move for me. And last up on the perk side is it's pretty decent to drive. Again, for a base model for the most inexpensive vehicle Toyota offers, it drives as advertised. It's got a small little engine, it's got respectable power, but I've had zero issues in getting up to highway speeds. You know, you stomp down, those RPMs are gonna scream for a little bit through the CVT as you get up to, you know, passing speeds or whatever you need that extra little burst for. But I gotta say, it drives pretty well, and yeah, it's a little on the noisy side, but set the expectations to realistic here, right? You don't really need to have all sorts of power and wild acceleration, but you know, just know that it doesn't drive badly. For a compact sedan, it's easy to park, it's easy to drive, it's got a smaller footprint. It is a great, again, functional vehicle, with function being the key theme here. Let's go on to the Quirks side of things, and there is one setting for your intermittent wipers. Take it or leave it, so it's off intermittent, which is like a couple of seconds between low and high, and that's about it. The physical key is definitely a Quirk. It's been a long time since I've had a press car that's had that. Turn your wheel 90 degrees to the right as you park your vehicle, so you have the big hole in the steering wheel to see where to put the key in, as opposed to craning your neck all the way to the right. And the benefit of that is, well, you reduce the chew marks that you get on the ignition ring. There is no L badge on the trunk. And I'm like, come on, guys. We know it's a base model, but you couldn't spring like the 50 cents to put the L badge on there. The HVAC system is another one. You don't get numbers. You get cool on the left, you get hot on the right, and there are little bars that separate them. So you crank the dial on the HVAC setting and it just goes from cool to hot, no numbers. For as good as the Corolla L is, there are some irks with it. So to fold down the rear seats, the release latch is a little tough to get to. It's still accessible, but it's not on the top edge of the seat back in the rear seat. So little extra effort required. Not a deal breaker, but just something to be aware of. There are no drive modes here. Yes, there's a little eco logo that shows up when you're driving very, not slowly, but very eco-friendly. I understand they've stripped this down to its most basic form in a modern world, but even one other drive mode would have been nice to see. There's one USB-C port beside the glove box, that's it. In the center console, there is a cigarette lighter adapter, so connectivity isn't the greatest. Sure, I guess you could get a splitter and your driver and passenger can have access to power, but even one additional one would have been nice to see. There's a lot of black on the bottom half of the vehicle, which makes it feel a little smaller than it is. And yes, the A-pillars and the roof liner are a light gray, which helps reduce that closed-in feeling, but aside from the trim around the vents and a long thin line, I should add, along the dashboard, it's all black in here. And yeah, the buttons for the HVAC are chrome/silver, but it's pretty dark in here. It's not a real Irk, it's like a very first world Irk. There's no trunk release on the trunk lid. You have to go up to the footwell for the driver and pull a small lever, and that's how you release your trunk. I can see there's a cutout for it, and I know other Corollas have it. I think that was a miss as far as excluding from the L trim. The last Irk will be on pricing, and that'll be a good segue into pricing. So the Irk is that the LE, which is the next trim up, is only $995 more as an MSRP, but you're getting 16-inch steel wheels, you're getting a windshield wiper de-icer, automatic climate control, heated front seats, blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alerts, safe exit assist. So that is a lot to get for $995 in addition to the base model. So I think that a lot of people will lean towards, it's only an extra 20-ish bucks a month once all your final payments have been figured out. And I think for that, it could be worth it to a lot of people. On to the pricing side of things. So the MSRP in Canada for this is $23,670. The $995 in addition to get up to the LE trim puts us at $24,665. And just as a comparison, the most expensive Corolla sedan you can get in 2025 is the XSE Hybrid for $36,085. There's a lot of numbers that I'm going to go through, so I'm going to find a parking lot and just pull over, park the car, because my memory is pretty good at 47, but it's not as good as it used to be. So let's go right here. No, let's go here. All right, so I want to show you the key as well, which is part of this. So there's that. Let's put the car into park. So that's the key. So it's got the Toyota logo there. It's got your lock, unlock. You can use the hold button to release the trunk, which is fine, but sometimes the key fob is in your purse or your pocket, or whatever it is, and you just want to be able to reach under just to go back to that one Irk, and you have your hold panic button, and there's a little switch. So there it is. All right, so let's go down to the competition. So there's a lot, and again, reading off the sheet because there are a lot of numbers and a lot of competitors. So again, here's your baseline, $23,670 as an MSRP, base model Corolla. Base model Mazda 3, $24,900. Base model Elantra from Hyundai, $22,599, which is lower than this. Honda Civic is up there at the most expensive at $27,840. Kia's K4, $23,995. We have the Nissan Sentra manual only, because that's their base trim, $23,898, which is just a touch over what we have here, and the only manual transmission in the base models of compact sedans. And finally, we go up to $24,573 for the Sentra as a CVT. If you don't want the manual, if you can't drive, you won't drive, whatever it is. I love this little Corolla L, and I know there won't be a lot of them on the road, for the main factor that the Corolla's biggest competition is itself. And again, that $995 difference going from the L to the LE. And maybe some people don't want to spend the $20 or can't, or whatever the reason is. We all have different situations and different scenarios. So maybe you do like the base of the base of the base. You want nothing added. You're giving me the most affordable Corolla in the lineup. And if that's the case, I can't say enough good things about the Corolla L. It's affordable. It has modern technology. It's got good standard safety, drives respectably well for the class of vehicle it's in. It's a very utilitarian first vehicle. Sure, it's got the 8-inch screen and a small 4.2-inch screen in here and a digital HVAC setup, but at its core, it's a very useful vehicle. And if that's what you're looking for, and you don't have any wants, and your vehicle purchase driver is needs-based, it's the Corolla L. At least that's what it would be for me. That's going to wrap it up for the 2025 Toyota Corolla L. Let me know if you have any questions. I will get you answers as soon as possible, and I'm always happy to engage in respectful conversation online. I invite you to join our social media platforms. We are on all of the major ones. Without you, there is no modern motoring, so I thank you, I appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.